Naruto is noted as boisterous, exuberant, and unorthodox, quite similar to Hashirama Senju. He inherited his mother's verbal tic, as he ends his sentences with "databeo" when emotional. Though he responds best to competition and is not afraid to ask for assistance, Naruto is relatively naive and slow to understand principles or situations. He often requires an oversimplified analogy in order to grasp explanations and can even prove forgetful. Naruto is aware of his faults and admits he acts strong to mask his embarrassment and frustration about them. Despite his naivety, Naruto can be quite observant, picking up on things others miss and retaining information casually gathered through conversation. Growing up as an orphan who suffered years of hatred and social isolation has influenced Naruto's character in a number of ways. He is heedless to formality and social standings, addressing certain people with nicknames instead of honorifics, although by the time of his adulthood, Naruto has slightly outgrown this trait. He has picky eating habits of ramen, his favorite food. He has a perverted side that manifests as attempts to peep into women's baths, although these moments are rare. Despite his quirks and the criticism they earn him, Naruto is said to have a personality that draws people to him, inspiring friendship and loyalty through acts of genuine kindness that could change a person's worldview and thus built meaningful relationships that he lacked in early life. The Sage of Six Paths believes Naruto's kindness is a special gift that allows him to save Kurama from its hatred. Naruto deeply cherishes these bonds and will go to great lengths to protect them, best seen with Sasuke after his defection from Konoha. Naruto's time at the Falls of Truth revealed that a part of him hated the villagers for ostracizing him, only to admire him after he saved them during Pain's assault. Upon confronting it, he learned to be at peace with it, willingly becoming greater than what he suffered. Another of Naruto's prominent traits is his desire for acknowledgement. His pranks around the village were for people to notice him, even if it meant by scolding him. Therefore, he dreamed of one day becoming Konoha's Hokage, the epitome of acknowledgement and respect from everyone in the village. Knowing his dream is a long, arduous, and seemingly impossible path, Naruto developed his own nindo of never going back on his word. This lifelong philosophy serves as the cornerstone of Naruto's great self-confidence. He believes he can accomplish any goal with enough hard work and perseverance, no matter what. This trait guides him in many aspects of life, such as his promise to bring Sasuke back to Konoha. Over time, his goal to be Hokage grew from a desire for the acknowledgement of others to a desire to help and protect the people close to him, which Toby attributed to the will of fire. His nindo has since been reinforced by his understanding that shinobi were meant to endure through hardships. His belief in hard work and perseverance made him detest shortcuts to achieving, as he disqualified his son from the Chunin exams for using the banned kote, and expressed disgust at Momoshiki and Kinshiki Otsutsuki for their reliance on harvesting from chakra fruits to lazily gain power. After the death of his master Jiraiya, talking to his father Minato and listening to Nagato's tragic story, Naruto grew to understand the destructive cycle of hatred and he vowed to break it in order to bring true peace to the world. To that end, his participation in the Fourth Shinobi World War is not only to protect his friends but also to bear and erase the world's hatred all by himself. After encountering a reincarnated Itachi Uchiha, however, Naruto realizes that he cannot handle everything alone and that he must allow his friends to support and fight alongside him. As he does so in war's climax, his fighting spirit inspires the allied shinobi forces to join him and keep fighting to end the war as well, ultimately becoming an example for many people to admire, follow, and believe in. Naruto first met Hinata Hyuga when they were children, where his open kindness and courageous spirit earned him her admiration, which grew into love. On his part, Naruto remained mostly oblivious to Hinata's feelings for him and even considered her weird because of her shyness around him. However, that changed during the Chunin exams in Part 1 when they began to interact more and support each other, causing Naruto to like her as a friend. In Part 2, as Hinata becomes willing to risk her life to protect Naruto, he, in turn, sees her as an actively strong person despite his speechlessness at her love confession. Naruto did grow to love Hinata subconsciously. Still, He was unaware of it because he kept fighting for Sakura, which was just another way for him to compete with Sasuke. During the last Naruto the movie, Naruto finally recognizes the love that Hinata has always had for him, causing him to become more bashful and protective of her, just as she was for him. Realizing that she alone has ever had faith in him and that she has always been there for him, he reciprocates her feelings and desires to be with her for the rest of his life. This newfound desire made him willing to make healthier lifestyle choices such as eating vegetables and reeling in his impulsiveness, something others have had little success with doing. As an adult, Naruto becomes wiser and more mature, though he retains some of his negligence for honorifics. Although he finally achieves his dream of becoming Hokage, its many tasks would often overwhelm Naruto to the point of him being unable to spend time with his family. He admits that part of this stems was from not having grown up with a father himself, making him unsure of how to interact appropriately with his children. Naruto also tends to be more responsible in his duties as Hokage than as a father. Nevertheless, Naruto profoundly loves his family, as he creates shadow clones to tend to them while he's busy, protects them in times of danger, spends time with them when he can, and expresses pride in his children's successes. He adopts Hiruzen's philosophy that everyone in the village is his family, believing that genuine relationships are made up of love rather than blood relations. His refusal to give his son any special treatment due to their blood relationships, along with the insistence that the boy professionally addresses him as 7th or Hokage while in the office, is a testament of Naruto's lack of bias and prejudice. Likewise, even in the face of people close to him committing horrible deeds, Naruto remains loyal to them, pushing aside his grief enough to see the nature of what they did. However, after facing Momoshiki Otsutsuki and realizing how his overly committed nature serving the entire village was significantly affecting his own family's happiness, Naruto came to accept that he needed to give them more attention. As such, by allowing more help from others, Naruto was able to enjoy more time with his family, restoring the same healthy relationship he had with them before he became Hokage. According to Jiraiya, Naruto strongly resembles his father. He has yellow blonde, spiky hair, and blue eyes, while inheriting the shape of his mother's eyes and face. His trademark characteristics are the 3 whisker markings on his cheeks. During the Fourth Shinobi World War, Dan Kato initially mistook Naruto for Nawaki due to their stark resemblance. Naruto was rather short for his age during Part 1, though he grew to be taller than Sakura in Part 2. Naruto originally wore green goggles on his forehead, though he discards them upon becoming a genin. In Part 1, Naruto wore an orange and blue jacket with a white collar, a white swirl with a tassel on the left side, and a red Uzumaki crest on the back. He also wore orange pants with a shuriken holster on his right knee, blue sandals, and a blue forehead protector, given to him by Irika after graduating from the academy. In Part 2, Naruto wears a more form-fitting outfit after wearing out his original one while training with Jiraiya, with a t-shirt or mesh armor underneath. While retaining the swirls and orange pants, the blue pieces of his outfit changes to black, his forehead protector, which is now longer, sandals, and orange jacket, the black color showing more prominence than the blue did originally. During his battle with Pain, Naruto briefly wore a short-sleeved red coat with a black flame pattern around the hem and carried a large scroll on his back. Naruto loses his right arm after the Fourth Shinobi World War, though it is later replaced by a fully maneuverable prosthetic arm made of Hashirama Senju's cells, wrapped completely in bandages. In the last Naruto the movie, Naruto grew again to be one of the tallest of his graduating class, cut his hair short, and wore a black elastic forehead protector. Over his pants and sandals, he wears a black uniform jacket with an orange zipper and buttons on the waist and sleeves, which can be folded up at times. He has a red armband with an Uzumaki crest on his left arm. After becoming Hokage, Naruto dons a garment similar to his father's. A white cape that has a red flame pattern around the hem, is held together by a red rope, and has the kanji for 7th Hokage, Nanadame Hokage, written vertically down the back. Underneath this, He wears an orange sweatshirt with black stripes, reverse in the manga version of Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, black pants and sandals. He occasionally wears the traditional Hokage headpiece, but has stopped wearing a forehead protector.